Hello, everybody, and welcome to GBear's Off-Grid Ways, a homestead in the desert. Here we are on February 13th, a little afternoon time, and as promised, the rain is starting out there. So I'm going to go and show you what's going on with the turbine, because we do have winds, 16 to 19 miles per hour. So let's head on outside and see what's going on. Yes, we have clouds in the sky. We have little sprinkles coming down here and there. And we'll step out over here. And yeah, that turbine is a spinning. And just kicking out electricity like it's supposed to. And everything looks kosher with the guy wires and the pole. So we're going to head on inside of the room here, and let me get the door open and get my little snake gate open, and here we are. Well, look at that, 448 watts peak already. That's not bad. Yeah, 33.68, 448. You can see it as I'm going there. Okay, so let me tell you what these this corner right here, what that means. That's kilowatt hours. That's watts peak. The AP is that's amp hours. That's volts maximum. That's watt hours. That's amps peak. That's watts peak. Okay. So the wind just died there for a second, but look, it picked right back up again, and that's the output of the PMA right now. Okay, so let's see what our amp peak was. There it is, 33.58. So that's not bad for 17-mile-an-hour winds. And no problem with the units here popping. I was asked a question if you could use a regular charge controller like that to build one of these. Well, yes, you can, because basically what this is just a PWM solar charge controller. Okay, but when you set it up like this, it's used as a dump load only. You don't hook solar to it. If you hook solar to it, you make it a solar charger, not a dump load controller. So all you're going to do is hook the battery section up to your batteries, and then take two wires come out of there, and they go to this solenoid. Now you have to use this specific type of solenoid. You'll notice it has two connectors on the bottom, unlike a Ford solenoid from the old Ford starter solenoids. They only had the two on the side and the two in the front here, okay? So you can't use a Ford solenoid. Well, you could, but it's going to burn up in no time at all. It's got to be this solenoid, and these sell for about $30. You can find them online. But it has to be one that's designed for a dump load controller. And then you want to also mount it on a metal plate like this with air gap behind it. And then you'd have to set your controller so that your dump load dumps at, say, 13.8 volts. Right now I'm at 13.3. Mine is set at 13.8. So when this gets up to 13.8, it's going to click, that light will come on, and it's going to send current out of these two lines, which will activate my solenoid and connect those two together, which will send power from the battery up to my heater coil. Oh, well, look at that. My heater coil now has a plate behind it. I found a piece of aluminum diamond plate I had in my stockpile over there, and I put some nylon spacers behind it. So I got some air gap behind there, and then I have air gap here. And I drilled, tapped, and threaded so that these screws actually thread right into the plate. These screws go all the way through, of course, go through the nylon spacers and fasten it to the wall. So I'm protected there now. And I still also have a 30 amp fuse in here, just in case if it does overamp on me, it'll blow the fuse and quit heating that element. All right, another thing I did. I have a bunch of these computer fans around. I bought a bunch from my friend's place, All Tech Electronics in Santa Ana. And you guys ever need any stuff, go in there and talk to those guys. Lucian and Vin and Ghazi, they're great guys, and they'll help you out with a lot of the things that you need. They work on computers and all of that kind of stuff, and then they have all kinds of electronics for sale. So I go there and buy a lot of stuff. All right, so here we go. I put this fan on here, and what I did was I connected the positive and negative temporarily using some jumper cables onto here. You probably noticed those a second ago where I've got those clipped on. Okay, so I got them positive and negative. That's the black is negative, the red is positive. So what happens is when this thing kicks on to send power to there, that means I'm overamping and I've got more voltage than I need. So what's going to happen is, besides activating my solenoid and sending power up to there, it's also going to activate this fan, and it's going to blow cold air across my watt meter. So some people seem to be concerned about the watt meters burning up because they get too hot. Well, this one has no heat to it at all. It's cool as can be. But I put that little unit there, and if need be, I'll connect that directly through the batteries and have a manual switch on it where I can turn it on and off. Or I also have a bunch of these laying around. These are battery-powered timer switches. I can set one of these up and have it turn on and off whenever it's too hot, or I'm generating a lot of extra electricity, so forth, so on. So normally the winds are going to die down when the rain starts, and that's what I'm seeing here. I just saw a 211, 155, but this turbine at 17 miles an hour, 19 miles an hour winds max, has produced more electricity, almost twice the electricity that other little turbine did at 65 miles per hour. So yeah, I'm happy with this so far. And all my batteries are up to par. It's been overcast all day, but I'm at 13.4 now, as you can see. And the voltage is still going up with the this P, I'm sorry, excuse me. I just ate and I got a little frog in my throat. No, I didn't eat frog. Okay, yeah, this is peaking out a lot better than that other one ever did. I'm much more happy with this. I can't wait. They said the winds are going to get up near 30 miles an hour between today and tomorrow. I can't wait to see what that puts out on here. Apparently, I was informed earlier when I was checking on these PWAs that, I'm sorry, PMA, that the 30 mile an hour wind should produce more than half of its max output. So we're looking at a 1680 watt system. That's 140 amps. And I'll be putting out half of that when it gets up to 30 mile an hour winds. So we'll be looking at, what, 800, not close to 800 or 850 or so like that, somewhere in there. And maybe even 900 watts of power. That's going to be very interesting to see what happens with this. All right, so I'll quit rambling on, and I'm going to cut this down and go inside and warm up a little bit. My fingers is getting cold. As you can see, they're nice and red from the cold out here. The temperature's dropping. The rains are coming. The dark sky is all around, completely overcast all the way around me. The girls don't care. They just had their treats and they're running around happy. Gave me a few eggs this morning. And I've still got to get those barrels dumped. I got to hook those up to my ATV and haul them over and pump them into my tank. GBear reminding you, if you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up down there. And don't forget to leave comments and questions. I try to get to everybody as quickly as possible. If you don't hear from me for a couple hours or something, that's because I'm busy, my hands are full, or my hands are dirty, and I don't want to touch the camera or the cell phone. So we'll talk to you soon again. I'll let you know how everything goes through tonight. GBear signing off.